Travis with UTV Window Tint, welcome back to the channel. I got my CFMoto behind me. I got 550 miles on it. I put on about 200 miles this past weekend. Obviously, a little bit of rain, a little bit of mud. So we're gonna show you how to properly wash this. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to scratch the plastics any more than we already have. So now I have scratched the plastics. I ran through some woods at a pretty good rate of speed. I have some scratching down the red. In another video, I'm going to show you how to polish that, but first we need to properly wash it. So in order to properly wash it, I want to use a high pH soap. So we're gonna use Mr. Detail Restart. So the Restart is a high pH soap. It's not going to damage anything. It's not going to dull anything. It's not gonna stain glass. It's gonna offer high foam and it's gonna help break apart that dirt. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're actually gonna foam this up, let it sit and let us break off that dirt and then re-foam it and then come by with our wash mitt and wash brush to actually agitate it. We want it to do its work. That's only gonna take about 60 to 90 seconds to do. So let's dive right in. I'm gonna show you guys the Restart sprayed on via a foam cannon. My pressure washer is a 2.5 gallon a minute at about 2,500 PSI. So that definitely helps too. That's gonna give us the rinsing effect. When it comes to a pressure washer, it's not all about the PSI. It is also about the gallons per minute that is gonna help you rinse away that dirt. We are gonna use Magic in this pump up on the wheels and tires. So you will see me doing that also. So let's dive on in. All right, so I'm using the green tip, which is the 25-degree tip, just for reference. I'm gonna put that in my pocket. In here we have the Magic, which is also a high pH all-purpose cleaner. It works really good for cleaning wheels, works good for cleaning up these tires. I even like to use it in these wheel wells here. And that's just gonna work as a nice pre-rinse. If your machine's full of bugs, it's also going to work for that. I do like this in this pump up. I know a lot of you guys won't have this luxury unless you choose to buy one, but this pump up's gonna make it a lot easier too. So I'm just gonna spray down any area that could be affected by bugs. Plus I'm gonna spray the wheels and tires. So this is really gonna help break this apart. I'm also gonna use this in the wheel wells, and this is going to help advance that foam more. If you guys would like, you could use this in a foam pump up also. That's gonna help the dwell time of this. So we're gonna go around, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna spray the rest of the machine with our foam cannon with the Restart, and that Restart is diluted 1 to 100. It's a very high concentrated product, and we're gonna control how much foam we're putting on the machine based off the top of the foam cannon and its ability for the plus and minus. So I'll show you that here. So we got all of that done with the Magic. Set that off to the side. Here we have the plus and minus. We're gonna pop that onto our foam cannon. You don't want the Magic to dry. I'm not too worried about the Magic drying on in this instance, but you don't want it to dry on. And we're gonna spray on this. All right, so now you can see, in even this front tire, we can see the browning coming out of this tire. So we're gonna let this sit. You can see that it offers a nice thick foam. It is a little bit warmer today. It's a little bit more on the humid side of things today. So this is drying a little bit faster, but we'll go give that a little bit to sit here. And then we'll come back and rinse it off. I swapped to my 25-degree tip already. So you can see how it's pulling all that mud off the bottom here. I can see, I don't know if you guys can, but it's pulling, this puddle is just full of mud. We don't want to agitate that into the surface when we go to brush that or mitt that. So we want to give that the chance to break that down. That high pH is gonna help break all that dirt off the surface. In essence, you could technically maybe use this as a rinseless or a touchless wash. I wouldn't really suggest it. Guys have done it. I would still go through and mitt this. That's the only way I can guarantee you're gonna get a clean machine. So we've given it a little bit of time. Let's go ahead and rinse it before it dries on. So that took us about start to finish with me talking about 8 minutes. I time-lapsed that for you guys just to speed up. So at this point, I haven't touched the machine with a brush, a mitt, or anything. Obviously, it's still wet. It looks very clean. I've knocked off a lot of mud. That high pH soap has helped lift that away. And this foam cannon was full. We used just under a half. So we're gonna foam this back up. We're gonna take our wash brush and our mitt, and then we're gonna brush off the soap and then rinse it off and go from there. All right, so I'm gonna start with the upper parts because they're hopefully the least dirty, depending on how you use your machine. So we're gonna brush this roof. I wanna bring back to my bucket where there's a grit guard inside my pail and use that grit guard to rinse off the dirt and the mud that I'm getting on to this brush. So we're gonna start with the roof and the upper parts of the machine. I did do the back window while I was on the other part, on this back side here. Now I'm just gonna do this upper side windows over here. Just gonna go through and agitate, and then we're gonna get this windshield. All right. And then we're gonna come back to our bucket, rinse and grind that onto the grit guard there. All right, so now I'm gonna work on my hood. Watch out for that antenna, we don't wanna snap that off. Go back to my bucket. I'm gonna actually use my mitt here to get some of these areas. So this is just the regular wash mitt. Just think it'll be easier to work in some of these areas. So we really got this machine dirty. The 250 or the 200 miles we put on were great. I hauled it up there. Did a lot of morning riding and a little bit of night riding. With the window tint on the machine, it was a little bit hard to have 35% on this machine. It was a little hard to see at night, but not terrible. We were out in the woods, so we went and grabbed dinner pretty late at night and had to ride back. It was very fun overall. I'm glad I went. It was nice to get away from work for a little while. All right, so I'm coming back to my bucket. Just got a little bit more to scrub on the other side. Grab both sides of my mirror here. So now, drying this machine off, you can use a air compressor, a drying towel, or a leaf blower. If you guys have access to the leaf blower, that's probably gonna be easiest. So I would suggest doing so. At this point, I've scrubbed down the whole machine. I'm probably gonna grab my wash mitt and scrub these lower parts just to ensure that the lower parts are clean down here on the bottom of the door. This soap is very long lasting. Like I said, it's kind of humid today, so it is drying up a little faster than it normally would. But now we're gonna give this thing a good, thorough rinse. I noticed that these wheels in that lip sit a lot of dirt even after a lot of rinsing. So I have to very, very, very thoroughly rinse those wheels. I would say that was one disadvantage to the wheels, but I really like the way it makes the machine look. So I'll take that trade-off. We're now gonna go back to our 25-degree tip and wash this top to bottom again. right, so now at this point we can take like a water blade off all the glass, take our leaf blower, our Air One, dry it off, and we'll have a clean machine. So we use Magic and Restart. We're probably 25 minutes into the wash, maybe less than that. Let's take a look here. We're 16 minutes into the wash, so not bad. Obviously drying will take it probably about to 25, depending on how carried away you want to get. You could dress the tires, clean your windows with glass cleaners. I would highly suggest getting all that water off so you don't water spot your glass or your plastics. So if you guys need any products, they'll be linked below. If you guys are interested in pre-cut window tint, we sell UTV window tint kits at UtvWindowTint.com. If you're interested in polishing out the scratches on the plastics, that will be in a video to follow that we also will link below. If you're interested in any other CFMoto content, this is my machine. We're going to continue on the build. Follow along, give us a follow. It doesn't cost anything, and we'll see you on the next video.